All right, so welcome to this recap for the week. So I'm gonna start. I'm just gonna take out all the objects from the week. Of course, this is all life, part of the life, analysis and trade and all of that during the week. So taking all of that off. So let's go to the 4R. So let's draw this. So this was the low that got taken out. That's the 4R boss clearly there. And then the next break of structure should be this guy, right? So we're very clear on what we expect price to do. But then I also need to take a replay. So let's take it to the Monday of Monday will be 2nd. Yeah, so let's take it to 2 a.m. on Monday. Oh, so this wouldn't have printed out. Yeah, so actually have this. All we're just going to be doing, of course, is just trying to support all the valid entries using Stock in Profit podcast. In practice, you may miss some, you may catch some. Hopefully, you're not afraid to take the trades when they present themselves, because that's also something. You may also be scared to take trades depending on your growth and also your psychological level, but I believe that is something that should be overcome with more practice and also confidence. Okay, so we have that. So this is the high that led to this low being taken out, and then after that we have price now pulling back. Is price going to get here? I have no idea, but also we have some consolidation around here, so price may also react to this area. So I'll just draw this candle across. So we have for consolidation, so when price arrives here, price should react, may react aggressively. So with that, now we have this. Now we know that this was a major break of structure. Price has registered a new low here, and we're having that pullback. And because it's a counter trend setup, so we're not expecting price to pull back all the way to this area, right? Because it's counter trend. The main trend is bearish. You can see the market, you can see the market has been trending bearish, right? So the main trend is bearish. So we're not expecting price to pull all the way here. Price can do that, but we're not expecting that to happen. So we may just get a continuation at any time, to the downside. So that is the first, I would say, bias, understanding the major trend of the market and then trading in that direction. So you're not sort of trying to force things, right? So you're simply just following the flow of the market. So that said, here, this high, did this candle really close this? You can argue yes, you can argue not. So, but that's not a convincing close. So let's leave that as a liquidity sweep. Okay, so we have that, and yeah, so the market has been trending bullish. I'm sorry, counter trend in the counter trend direction, and now seems to be ready to go. So let's go to the 15 minutes and let's see what we have. Okay, so in the 15 minutes here, let's draw this. So we have different things going on here actually. So I can draw this. This is from Friday across. So that'll be a boss on the 15 minutes. Can also draw this low here. Okay, so cleared and then continuation boss again. Okay, yeah, this is quite far away. But anyways, just doing this because we want to get a perspective, want to get, a sense of what price is doing, right? So anyways, this is the low. Now the swing low, right? That we expect. Let me just put that's where the money is. Okay, so this is where the money is. So we expect this swing low to kind of hold based on our 4R analysis. We know that the 4R is bearish, so we expect that to happen. Is price gonna get all the way here? We have no idea. Obviously, we can see that price is already stalling. After all of this momentum, price is stalling, so hopefully we can get that continuation, right? So okay, so this is Friday. What do we have? Let's see. Okay, draw this across like this. Right, so I can draw this across. So you can see the price is, taking out this low and is now bearish. So with that in mind, let's zoom into this area here and let's see what we have. So we did all of what we just did to get a perspective as to what price is doing and where we're at. So this is where we're at. So this is Friday, right? And this is now the new low where the money is, okay? And this is the money, okay? So short term, right? So this is where the money is. Long term on the 4-hour, we know this is where, let's get that again. So on the 4-hour, well, people call it different things, liquidity and all of that, right? But this is where this is the 4-hour low, and this is where we're going to target if we're to swing this, okay? Now sorry, that's so if we're to swing this is what we're going to target, right? Because this is a swing low. We expect that this low will be taken, but how is it going to get a push into these areas? Maybe, maybe not, okay? So let's go to 15 minutes again. Okay, so here we go. So on the 15 minutes, we're clear where we are. Reference price, this was the highest point that led to that low being taken, so we can draw that out. Okay, so 15 minutes POI, we have that there. What else? So anyways, we have this structure here, low high, low high, low high. Price can react to this high and then sell off, which is what we expect. So we draw this across, can draw the entire candle. I always like drawing the entire candle just for perspective. So if I want to sell, for example, I know that I'm expecting that this high will hold, and then if it holds, fine, good. And if it fails, maybe this high is going to hold. Now, why do I say maybe? There are just times when price just kind of sweeps, liquidity, right? And just sweeps highs and then goes in your direction. And that happens a lot. And I'll explain that shortly. So we have this highs candle too, that low end. So just draw that across. Now I may be using chalk and balls, all doesn't really matter, right? What really matters is that you understand structure and what is happening here. Okay, so cool. So we're good here. Now it's very important to understand that this is like top down, right? We've done analysis on the 4-hour time frame, so we know that the 4-hour time frame, this is where price should head to, and price is sort of selling off, so we expect that this is going to hold and then price will sell off. So where do we now sell from? We're very clear on our target, whether it's a short-term target or the long-term target. So where do we now sell from? And that is where the main question lies. So let's see as Monday opens. So this is 6 a.m. okay, so 6 a.m. 6, okay, this is 7 a.m. Now with this, let's look at what we have here. So we have all of this here. You can see that this is this is where the money is, right? So with this, we're not going to be saying, it would be wrong to say, okay, because this high has been taken, has it really been taken over? No, not, it hasn't really been taken over any kind of, anyways. So we can't even long from here, because looking at this, you know that the market is heavily bearish. If you want to long, well, you can decide to take that risk, but it's not the best because it's not in the direction of the trend. Okay, so the direction of the trend is for us to sell. So if you ask me, the first sell is going to be around here. I'm going to put my entry around here and my stop above this high. This was the last high that led to this low being taken, so I'm going to have that there, and then I'm going to target at a minimum this is the first target for Monday. Okay, so as much as possible, now my philosophy is get some money early in the week, and that gives you the buffer for the remainder of the week. So if, for example, you get a 1 to 4, then that gives you a buffer going into the week. So even if I lose the next 4 trades, I know I'm not going to be in a loss for the week, okay? Which is also not likely to happen anyways, following the plan and not trading emotionally. So if this works out, I already have a buffer, very good buffer for the week, okay? But then if it doesn't work out, no problem. Still look for was still going to get additional setups and all of that. So this is the first entry. And why will this be the first entry? Because this was the high that led to this low being taken and got us this low. So I expect that this should hold and then we get our sell-off. How about if this doesn't hold? Well, I'm going to have 2 entries. And why am I going to risk having two entries? The philosophy is simple, because the market is strongly bearish and I expect that at least one of this should hold. So this high here, this is the second high. So if this gets rated, I expect that this should hold and hopefully we get an entry. So for this, I'm going to put this to 5 pips or thereabout. So this guy too, let's make it like 5 pips. Okay, on the 15 minutes. Okay, so let's see how this works. Now this is because conservatively I'm going to target this. Okay, first trade for the week, so that'll be 1 to 6.4 thereabout. So let's see how this all plans out. Now you also need to understand that sometimes you may have all of this sell limit orders set in place, and then what you need to do is to wait for price to get here. Okay, and then sometimes price may just sell off and just leave you and just go, but no problem, because you likely catch another opportunity, so no need to chase price. All right, so with that said, let's play this. Oops, that was fast. Okay, so now sincerely I remember this. Yes, I actually took a loss here anyways, but that was that. Worked out perfectly, and that was it. So this actually was a loss, and you can see why. Sometimes price just rates the highs, and then it happens. Okay, it's just a sweep. This is following structure. We're simply trading structure, and this failed, but because we also know now, why would we actually take a second entry here? Simply because the market is strongly bearish, and we know that. So we know that this high should hopefully hold. Of course, this high could have also been swept and maybe here or whatever, but at least we know that we have two entries, and then with proper risk management, we're able to get in, and you can see that. So that's the first 1 to 6 for the week. So let's register that. Right. So let's see. Monday. That's 1 to 6. Or let's just say +6. +6R. No, the first one was -1R. By the way, we're not trading in 1 minute, so I'm just showing you this on the 15 minutes, and that's because even on the 15 minutes alone, you can make a lot of bank. Okay, and then Friday. Okay, so we're good. So what do we go? All right, so that's that for London session. So you can see our short-term target was hit. If we wanted to make this long-term, right, we know that we could actually swing this like all the way here, and that would be 1 to 19. Now let me explain something. In the world of trading, it's not how much you trade that determines how much you bank. It is how well you trade. Now, if you understand structure, you can actually use structure to your advantage. And what I mean by this is this: if you're someone who is, for example, working class or whatever, these are kind of the type of opportunities that you want to you want to sort of bank, because imagine catching this 1 to 20 thereabout. Okay, and that's, if you're risking 1%, that's 20% in a week on one single trade. I can tell you that that's not something that a lot of traders are actually able to back consistently, and that is why it will take time. But with the mental, if you have the right mindset, then that is something that will come eventually. Okay, but because you see these things happen over and over and over again, and at some point you just have to get in the flow and just kind of, I would say, scale up. Okay, but that is it essentially. So you get all of that plus 20R in a week, and just one single trade. So it's not all about how much you trade that determines how much you make. It's how well you trade, and hopefully you put in the work and you can actually get to that. All right, so that's it. So conservative target that has been hit, so we're done. We're out of that trade, and then we continue to see if we can get more. Okay, so this low has now been taken. This then becomes our breaker structure. After the breaker structure, what do you expect? You expect a pullback. When is the pullback going to happen? I have no idea. So let's draw this across. So this hopefully should be where we can sell from, except we get structure formed before that. So let's just see what we get. So New York session 130, you can see the market is still selling off. this is not really the best of price action where we can say we want to sell from, so we'll just let it be. Okay, heavy, 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 heavy. So New York session sold heavily, and of course targeting our low. Now, what is important here is for you to, for us, yeah, you and us, I inclusive, to really just see how structure plays out from a higher time frame perspective, and how positioning yourself to be able to catch these opportunities can be really, really rewarding. Okay, and let's go back to the 4 hour again, and let's just look at what we see, what we're seeing here. So you can see on the 4 hour we had drawn that the market was of we had established that the market was heavily bearish, right? We had established that the market was heavily bearish, and then that because it was counter trend, there was no certainty the price was going to get into this areas or this area. If we get that bearish shock, which started happening the Friday prior to the Monday, we basically can just write that and then target this place here because this was where the money was. Okay, so it was based on that when Monday opened, we're not looking for longs. There was no long opportunity to be looking for. It was counterintuitive, to be looking for long opportunities, and only sales, were valid setups, right? And based on that, you can see how all of this played out. And this is just Monday, right? And it seems, that 1 to 20 was eventually going to play out on a Monday. But this trade was necessary to get that buffer for the week. Okay, and that is it. So let's play this. Okay, pulling back. Now by 5 p.m. already, I'm off the chart. 5 p.m. UTC +1, I'm off the chart, so no trade for me again. So let's take it Tuesday. Okay, target, yeah, this most likely would have tapped, the target. Let's just take it. Okay, that's it. Nice setup, nice trade. I didn't hold all the way there, of course. Right. Okay, so here we are. So this is coming into Tuesday. We know that the low of the 4 hour has been taken. Now we have here structure again. We're going to identify our structure. So let's draw all of that. Okay. Just draw structure. That's just it. Well, some person's going to take this. Some will say they'll take this. But whatever. Please yourself. Okay, now in the live market, I may not necessarily be drawing all of this, but just for the purposes of, illustration, yeah. Okay, so we have this. Now, I remember this was one of the live trades I had posted, I think, during the week. I can't remember, I think so. Anyway, so we have this. Now, when you look at this structure, what do you see here? For me, this pullback, let's see how many pips we have. 13. This one here, pull back just about 10 pips, and then this one here, just about 7 pips. Now when I see something like this, for me it's not so much okay, let me just draw this again. Look at this guy here. Now you can see this price action here. Price sold off, pull back up, and then continued. So some persons will argue that we can draw this has also zone, but let me just leave it at this guy. Let me just leave it here. Okay, so this one, in other words, that will be the only area where I will be interested in selling if price does get there. Now the market is heavily bearish. We cannot see a trend reversal, so hopefully we continue to get that sell. So for me, what I'm just going to do here is I'm going to anticipate the price we get here and then sell off. But if this fails, then hopefully we get a sell from here. So let's see. So we're going to have this. Now, you also need to understand that we're not going to be very aggressive with this sell because price has taken out the low of the 4R, and at any time we can get that reversal. Okay, so we may get that reversal, so we want to be conservative with our sell here after a major break of structure on the 4R. Okay, so but because we're trading with the trend, we simply flow with the trend until there is a trend change. Okay, So let's see how all of this pans out. 7:15, 7:38. Okay, seems this would have gotten us in. Yeah, so we're in the trade. Oh, I remember this trade. Yeah, this was the live trade I had posted. No, it wasn't the live trade. Yeah, because I think that one played out. So anyways, we've been rated as you can see here. Now, what is likely to happen? Well, we have this guy here. Okay, so its price is it's are we gonna get price? Is price gonna get there? I have no idea. Either here or here. So what do you think? Well, let's try. We're gonna hold, not try, rather. We're gonna sell it from here. This candle here, this this pullback, this bullish candle here, and then also here, right? So let's see. Now, if you want to be very conservative, you can have a very large stop loss here, okay? And then your low will still be targeting this, but that'll just be 1 to 2, okay? Well, there are some traders that would love this, but I'm willing to take the risk. If this gets rated, then I can aim for some other this area here. So let's see what we get. Okay. All right. Seems this is going to play out. So this is already New York session. Now, you have to be very careful because with New York session coming on board, after you got tapped in, this was around 9:15 London session, we may get a reversal or we may get a continuation, bearing in mind that already we have a boss on the 4R. Okay, so because we have a boss on the 4R, we can get that pullback immediately. And with this type of price action, this could indicate that price is now ready to sort of pull back in the opposite direction. So you have to be very conservative with your targets, right? So ideally with this type of price action, with New York coming on board, London not really taking out this low, it might show the prices beginning to stall, and then it's a good place for you to maybe take partial profits or something, right? So that's just that. Anyways, so oops, and that was it. So you can see the news came out and actually caused this price action here. This was 3 p.m. and that was it. Okay, so anyways, we took a loss again, as you can see here. 2 losses, 2 wins. Okay, and the principle is simple: keep your losses what now your losses what small, right, and your wins big. And evidently you can see all the time we of course will always risk the same thing. So in terms of risking, you're not sort of changing, you're not just sort of jumping from risking 1% to risking 0.5. Your risk has to be consistent. Okay, so we took 1R and then we have plus what now? This was 7R, I think. Yeah. Okay, so minus 2R plus what? Plus 13R. That's a nice one. Okay, the first 2 days of the week. Hopefully you're able to take the trade and not skip them. Anyway, so that's that 3 p.m. So I think with this we'll kind of clear or done with the day, because this is news and of course you're going to have a lot of volatility after the news. So let's just take it the next day. So let's go to Wednesday. Wednesday by okay 7 a.m. All right, so let's draw out the structure again. Okay, cool. So we have that. Just take this out of the way. So the highest candle that led to that. So we draw that. We still have this one. Is it unmitigated really? Well, someone argue it's already mitigated by this guy. So let's leave that in place. Okay, and then this also mitigated this guy. But that's a very, you can see the candle tapped into that zone. So we can draw this one across. I'm leaving this in place just so that we don't take it out, but I hope you're able to follow. So low, high, low. Okay, price is pulling back now, and then what do we expect? So let's look at what we have. Let's draw this is a sweep of that. Can you see this candle rather swept the low of this and then pull back up. And then what do we have? We have this here has been taken out again. That's a bullish chalk. Now I'm going to explain something really important here, because now all of these trade setups I share them all the time in the Discord group, right before price does this thing. So I'm going to share something very important here. Now let's draw this. So typically we can, would want to understand what is the structure and what is price likely to do. The first thing you need to understand is on the 4-hour, price has taken out a major low. And after price takes out a major low, what do you expect? You expect a pullback. But when is that pullback going to start? Well, it all depends on price and also time. Now, we came into Tuesday. You could see that the pullback did not really start on Tuesday. After it took this high, price is sold off. So, but we still expect that pullback is going to happen, and that pullback needs to happen, must happen, would happen. But you have to anticipate when that pullback is going to happen for you to actually take advantage of that pullback and then trade, banks in profit. So now we're coming into Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? Tuesday? Yes, Wednesday. And here you can see this low has been swept. Price tried to push lower but failed to do so. Tried to do the same again but failed to do so. And now price is kind of, retracing. And you can look at this high has been taken. This has been taken. Price swept all of this lows again and is trying to push up. And price is now consolidating around here. Now, even though we can trade with the trend, but we know that the trend will get exhausted after a low has been taken, and that's something you need to have in mind. So because the low has been taken, now we can anticipate that with market opening on Wednesday, London session opening, we can get that pullback. And when we get that pullback, it's going to be massive because the low, the major 4-hour low has been taken out. And when that pullback happens, it's going to really, really be massive. And let me just explain to you what I mean. So let's go to the 4-hour and let's see what we have. Now on the 4-hour, look at this. Let me adjust this. So on the 4-hour, let's draw this. This is our low here. This is our high. Okay, so you can see this is of course just a fill tool, right? So you can see this is a high. So let's do this. The high of the range, okay? And then we have here the low of the range just around here. You can see this. So now after this major low was taken out, we expect that pullback. But when is that pullback going to happen? We have no idea. You can see it tried happening here but failed to do so, pushed down, and now price seemed ready on Wednesday morning to now pull back. And you need to also understand that there are also other factors. NFP is going to be coming out on Friday. Because NFP is going to be coming out on Friday, usually price would sort of the news is usually priced into the chart, okay? And that's something you're going to understand with practice and also with experience in the market. So because NFP is going to come, so most likely we're going to have price, the news price will just sort of buy into the news well ahead of time before it comes out. So Wednesday, coming into Wednesday now we're going to target at least the EQ of that range, and let's see. So now coming into Wednesday, we know that this is where price is at. We've seen this swept of liquidity, we've seen this chalk, and now we can draw this low, because this, if anything is going to happen, then this low should actually stand, right? This low should stand. We're not going to draw anything on this candle here because this candle hasn't really done anything. It hasn't taken out any high, hasn't done anything. So we're just going to draw this one across, okay? And also because all of these areas here are very nice, and inducement, for price to sort of do its thing. So now what we're going to do, let me also just share something I sometimes will do, or typically would do. And I also do this for this, for those on the stock and profit course when I post my markup, so that everybody understands what we're looking at. So if you look at this was the high, okay? Price pulled down all the way, let's say here. You can see that's this low here, right? And then pulled all the way here. You can see there's this high here, and then we had this massive price action here, right? This one, okay? Excuse me. All right, so this, and then what happened? Price pushed all the way up here, and then we had another one that took out that low, swept the low, okay? And then what happened next? here we have price now pushed up here, tried to sell off but failed going anywhere, and then took out the high again. You can see that's high, right? Now this, I do this because this provides clarity for you to just look at structure without the bias of all the candles, you know, the buy and the sell and all of those things you have in there. So you can see all of this price action. Now price came, swept all of this low. You can see that, tapped into this area here, and then now price is here, and then we have this low here, and then price returned here. So what do we expect with this type of price action? If you're a novice trader, you're gonna say, okay, we're gonna have a massive sell and we're gonna take out this low. And you wouldn't be necessarily wrong. If you are trading one time frame, this would be your bias, right? Because you can see that there's a bearish order flow in place and you say, okay, this low is gonna get taken out. But if you're trading just the stock and profit strategy, what I teach, how I trade, we already know there's a 4-hour extension, 4-hour break of structure, and that price has been extended already, and the price, you know, the market needs to breathe. Okay, and with that in mind, and also in anticipation of NFP that's going to be coming out on Friday, the market needs to sort of breathe, and that breathing is going to be that the market will need to pull back. Okay, so with that in mind, I'll be very, 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 it will be high, it will be low probability to sell from here. Not that it's not going to work out, it may work out, but that will be low probability considering we've had a major break of structure. The day prior on Tuesday, price did not pull back. Price still, you know, continuing direction of the break of structure, the trend. I'll be expecting a pullback. Okay, and it was based on that I anticipated, you know, this pullback, and I shared this structure, you know, when I posted the price action on Wednesday, you know, in the group. So I'm going to expect this lows will get swept or raided, and then we're going to expect price will come into this area here, and then we're going to expect this high, right, at minimum to get taken out. But we also know that, like I mentioned, that on the 4-hour, we're going to target the 4-hour EQ, because when this happens, after all of this extension of sells, look at all of this price action. You see this massive sell. When that pullback happens, it's going to be really massive. Okay, so and then we're going to expect that price is just going to, you know, sort of pull back aggressively. Now, like I mentioned, let's see the 4-hour. What we're going to be targeting, we're going to be targeting this area here. Okay, you can see there was a massive sell-off, and I expect that pullback to really be aggressive, but minimum we should target this area. So 105322. So that's what we have. So 05322. So I'm gonna have my stop loss below this area here, 5 pips. All right, so let's see. Now conservatively, we're just gonna target this high, and that'll be 1 to 8, guys. That's massive, right? By all standards, that's amazing stuff. But now, in terms of our entry, we're gonna place our entry below this area. Now let me explain something here. You see all of this, it's nice inducement. That low is a nice inducement. You have an inducement ahead of this area, so I'm gonna put my entry, you know, just above this guy here. Let's just say 1 to 6 there, about, sorry, 6 pips. Let me risk 6 pips, so we're gonna have that, right? Conservatively, we'll target this high, you know, based on, you know, what we've even drawn here, right? That'll be our conservative target, because after price takes out this high, you may get a pullback and a continuation, right? But then when that massive, because also of time and price, and this is something that really just comes with experience in the market, after this high gets taken, I wouldn't be expecting a massive pullback, because the pullback, this is already a pullback that's going to be really aggressive. So I'll just expect, you know, price to just do its thing and just push into, you know, this area. So, but anyway, so EQ 5-3, what did we even say again? I can't remember, but 5-3 something. Anyways, let's just target 1 to 10 based on this. 1 to 10, right? So that'll be our target. So hopefully we get tapped price, you know, we get an entry. So let me take this here. So this is 7 a.m. So let's see what we get. Okay, that's it, and that's our entry, right? So you can see aggressive push in, aggressive push out, Okay, with this massive candle here, 8 a.m., you can see we're already at about maybe 1 to 2 thereabout. Okay, so our risk gets, covered. Anyways, so let's play this. You can see the massive push, and that is it, guys. And that is it. Okay, of course, this is not just gonna happen within the blink of an eye. It's gonna take a while. You go do live your life, go do something else. You're not gonna be on the chart from 8 a.m. until 12, monitoring this. But that is essentially, it. Okay, and this is 1 to 10. Okay, on Wednesday London session, and this was how the trade actually did play out. So let's see. So this is plus 10R. I wished I had opened this thing to show you. Could have shown you the price action, but I posted this on the Discord group. Okay, so yeah. Anyway, so you get the gist, right? So this is a 1 to 10 London session, and how did we? How were we able to catch this? The simple logic of break of structure, pullback, time and price, London open, and we know the price is exhausting. Price is failing to push lower. Price has been ranging, and when that range to break out of that range, that's going to be the pullback because of the break of structure and the 4R that happened earlier. Okay, so that is it. Yeah, you can see how the structure played out just perfectly, right? The same thing. Okay, so let's take this to now. This is New York session. Will I be interested in buying from here? Sincerely, I will not, and for many reasons, anyways. Because this is a pullback, so we may get, it may be a continuation, it may not be, but also because of the price, because of the news coming out on Friday, which will be NFP, the continuation will likely, happen because the market will always just buy into the news ahead of time. So you get it just well. You can see this guy has been taken. All right, no trade. 5 p.m. We're done for the day. So let's go. Thursday. Okay, so 6:30. So let's examine what we have here. So let me just take this out of the picture. This is the high. Now, because of the news, we're just gonna keep trading this. We're just gonna follow, the pullback. Okay, are we gonna sell? Now, let me explain something to you. I had actually expected a sell from this, and I posted it on the group. I had even drawn the structure because you can see here, look at what we have here, guys. You see we had this high, you see low. That's a clear break of structure, right? And then showing that maybe price wants to sort of start the pullback. But something I did not factor in was the fact that NFP is going to be coming out, and as a result of NFP coming out, instead of getting that sell starting now, we may actually get that bullish push into, in the counter trend direction ahead of NFP. When NFP comes out, then we can get that massive sell off. Okay, and that was my mistake. Okay, for that day. So I actually took, a loss. I could have been conservative with my what they call it, with my sell. Yeah, I could have been very conservative actually. But well, it is what it is. So anyways, that was that. So with this, what price did essentially was, you know price went my actually got tapped in, like price went in my direction like 1 to 4, plus 4R thereabout. But of course I didn't take my profit and all of that, so it's actually a break-even trade. I ended up as a break-even trade. But yeah, so now what we're looking forward to and what actually played out. So we're looking at the valid entries, right? So let's see, what do we have here? This candle, draw it across. So you can see here, so this is the low that should hold essentially if the bullish continuation should happen. And it would happen because typically because of NFP and all of that, right? So this should hold. But also you have all of this areas here that could hold also, right, if price should continue upwards. Now this low here, let's also draw this. So you can see this high was also making out this internal high boss, Yeah, this was the low that led to this high being taken out. So that is also a valid area for you to kind of, yeah, that's even more. This is mitigated by this. So this is also a valid area to look for long. So what I should have done would have been, because of my knowledge of the fact that the NPO is going to come out, I should have anticipated that at maximum I should just take my profit around this area, right? And then maybe take the other trade. But then I was targeting this low, and as a result of that, price did this thing, came around here, and then reversed on me. So I was targeting 1 to 7, I think, but I just got 1 to 4, and then price reversed, and it was a break-even trade since the target wasn't hit. Anyways, that's that. So with this now, I'm gonna have an entry here, okay, and the target, conservative target, is gonna be this area here. Okay, now if this fails, then hopefully this low holds. That's just simple philosophy. Yeah. Okay, New York session, no entry, it seems. Okay, that's it. I think that has been taken. Okay, almost, but I don't think entry, except if maybe the broker had a wide what they call it, widespread. Anyways, but yeah, only if the entry was ahead of the zone, then they've got an entry here. So, but anyways, that's that. So you get it. So for this, yeah, so essentially no trade to be recorded here. So just gonna leave this at 0. If we record the loss I took in the actual market, then maybe to be -1 R, because based on this, I had predicted that this price was going to sell from here. And you can see actually it worked out, right? Because price sold it from here. No. This was not where I entered. This actually got triggered in during New York session. This was it. So this was what actually triggered me in, and then price came all the way to 1 to 4 thereabout, and then reversed, on me. But that was it. Yeah, so we'll record. I think we should record that actually, because this was what I had even drawn. So you can see here, chalk, price, swept all of these highs, and then we had, I was expecting that continuation for this low to be taken, but then price just stopped here, and then completely went the other direction. So we're still going to record that, and I think we should. So even though this would be more should have played out based on not just technical analysis, but now the macro, news, and also what was to come out. So yeah, so price came to like 1 to 4 thereabout, and then reversed, but this was our target, right? 1 to 7, that was what I was targeting. Yeah, so this was what happened in practice, in reality, right, in the live market. So we're going to record that as -1 R. Okay, so that is essentially it. So let me take this out of the way. So let's take this to Friday, the last trading day of the week, and let's see how or played out. Now this is Friday. You can see that price has been buying into the news, right? Ahead of the news, we've had all of this momentum to the upside. Now with all of this in place, when the news comes out, what we're going to expect? Well, we're going to expect a massive sell-off based on technical analysis, okay? And that's what I expect. Now, mind you, sometimes it could be massive sell-off, sometimes it could be what now? It could be a spike, whatever. So you just have to be very careful also with trading the news. Now, have this. Okay, so this seems to be the area price is reacting to, right? So this is around 615, correct? Now if you see this, look at this high was taken by this guy. Okay, so let's draw that structure. One thing about trading is that you have to be very clinical if you really want to make a sense of all of this. So this high here, from this low to this high here, then we had a pullback here, and then this high was registered, and then price pulled back all the way down here, and now price has failed to take out this high, price around here. But based on structure, what do we expect? We expect that high to still go, right? And now price is around here. Okay, so based on structure, what do we expect? Well, this was the break of structure that led to this high being registered, so I still expect this high to go. Now this is 6:15 a.m. I would expect the price would return, tap into this area, this low here, okay, around this area, or even this low, tap into this area like this, or maybe we'll get something smaller again like this. But the price essentially should tap into this area, and then from here we should get a continuation ahead of NFP again, okay? And that will be the philosophy. After taking this loss here, I wouldn't be expecting to sell ahead of NFP. I'll be expecting to continue, to buy, because price will usually, the market will usually price in the news. So yeah, so I'll expect this to play out, and then we target this high conservatively. So we're going to target something like this. Put our low there, and then we're going to target this high. Yeah, so this is essentially going to be this is our trade idea. Okay, so with that in mind, we're going to put this here, low below that area there, and then our high, we're going to target this high, that this high will be taken up. All right, so that is it. So 6 a.m. 6:15. Okay, that was 7:45. You can see that essentially, and that is it. Yeah, that high has been rated and taken over, and that was 125.8 thereabout. Okay, so now this is ahead of NFP. You can see there is no real zone for price to react to here, so this has been taken. We may get a push actually higher, even more. We may get price push higher even before NFP comes out, but let's see what we get. So let me just take all of this out of this place. Okay, so we have this 12:15. Okay, NFP is pushing higher. This is 1 p.m. The next candle is going to be NFP. All right, and you can see really on the euro dollar there actually wasn't any setup for us to really take, and yeah, that was basically that. Oh, no, excuse me, I think I had taken a trade in anticipation of NFP, but it actually ended up as a loss, and I'm going to show you that. Look at this here. You had this pullback here, this candle. This was a bearish chalk. You could see the massive momentum. So I had anticipated that with this, okay, that we're just going to get a retest of this area and then continuation, or a build up, a sort of consolidation ahead of NFP, and then I hopefully catch that sell. So I had something like this actually. Yes, remember this? So I had something like this. Yeah, and my target was essentially just conservative 1 to 10. Yeah, so and this was it, and I actually took a loss here. Okay, but mind you, the philosophy was that NFP is going to come out, and when NFP comes out, it's going to sell off, because we've been having this is the market pricing in the news. All of this bullish momentum here, that was the market pricing in the news, and I wanted to catch that sell off, but this was too early. So the same thing, I wanted to catch the sell off, but it also was too early on the euro dollar. But let me show you how it played out on AU. I think yeah, the Aussie dollar. So you can see here we had on Friday here we had this nice price action. So you can see this high held on. You had a bearish chalk, here, very very subtle anyways, but you can see here this high low, you had a bearish chalk, and then price tapped into it ahead of New York session, and then you had a massive sell-off, so which worked out very fine. Not just AU, but I think also, let me see, New Zealand dollar, it also worked out just pretty much fine. The same thing also, you can see here you had this chalk, and then price returned to this area, respected this highs, and after tapping 11:15, news came out, perfect stuff. You can see 1 to 15. Of course I didn't trade those, but just to show that it worked out perfectly on some of the pairs. The GU didn't really work out on GU, not so much, but yeah, we had something like that. So, but essentially, yeah, so it didn't work out on EU, and that was perfectly okay. So the next candle, you see what happened. News came out, and 115, yeah, okay, and that was a massive drop. Okay, but I didn't participate in this, and that was the end of the trading week, guys. Okay, so you can see market reversed, completely reversed. I believe this must have shattered a lot of people too, who probably were holding, anticipating that this low is gonna go. So that's it. Anyways, going into the next week, let's see how price develops. Okay, so this is it, guys. I hope this has really been interesting. You've actually picked a thing or two from this. But let's analyze our losses and our wins. So Friday we also took plus what? I think plus 5, plus 5.5 thereabout R, and then we had one minus 1R. So in other words, our wins, losses, I called them lessons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Interesting. In our wins, 1, 2, 3, 4, 50. So 50% win rate. So in total, our total R was what? Let's see. So 6.7 plus 7, that's 13, minus 2, that's 11. Correct. Yeah, 11 plus 10, that's 21. 21 minus this, that's 20. 20 plus this, that's 25.5, minus 1, that's 24.5. 24.5 R. So, well, depending on how you trade, if you're risking 1%, that's already 24.5%. Okay, and if you're risking 0.5% of your account, that's 12 plus 2.5 thereabout, right? Percent. Now you may catch some, you may not catch some. If also you trade emotionally, then you most likely will lose more than what you should lose. What is necessary if you're not following the plan, but essentially this is what you can get ideally if you follow, just follow the plan and stick to the plan, and just trade in 15 minutes, by the way, no 1 minute. Okay, and this is what you're gonna get. So hopefully, well, this is you've learned a thing or two from this. If you're watching this video, however, and you're not subscribed to Stock and Profit mentorship, then you can join. Just go to parutocapital.com and you can join, get 10% off, and really dive into this strategy. So hey, it's been a pleasure sharing this with you. Stay Stock and Profit, and see you next time. Bye bye. Cheers.